Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about how to submit your podcast to all the podcasting platforms such as Apple and Google and Spotify, you name it, all the places where podcasts can be listened to. We're going to talk about today in this quick little walkthrough. So the easiest thing you can do if you're a do-it-yourselfer out there is to go to Google and type in submit my podcast. That is going to bring up all the articles that have been written about how to do this and lists of where to go. So right off the top here, 28 podcast directories to use. You can click that and it'll show you all the different places that you could submit podcasts. And sometimes it'll also give you the links to where to go do that. Links like this one, which is Apple's link to submit your show. So let's click on that one. When you get to Apple, it gives you some directions here on how to submit your show. It's going to ask for something called an RSS feed. Now, an RSS feed is what you'll find on your podcast host. So if you've uploaded your podcast to a host like Libsyn, for example, which I talked about in another video, Libsyn.com is a podcast host. Once you get your files there, they have all your files with your show description and your audio, sound, your MP3 files. And there's a RSS feed, which is basically, it's a URL link. It's a quick link that describes where to find your show. And I'll show you that in a second, what that looks like. But you copy that URL and you come to this Apple page and you read through all the different directions in here. And then there's a section called submit an RSS feed. And you click this Apple Podcast Connect button. And then on the next page, there'll be this add the plus button to select a new show. It'll probably have you log into your Apple account to do that. But once you log in, you can choose add a show with an RSS feed, choose that option. And then you copy and paste that URL into Apple. And once you've done that, you can click save and move on. And then Apple is going to review your show, make sure everything looks correct, and let you know. And sometimes it could take 2-3 days. Sometimes it could take a week or two. But once you've hit that button and they come back to you in 3 to 7 days or more, and they say it's now live, your podcast suddenly is available across all of Apple to be listened to. So be sure that you are ready for this show to be live when you've hit this process. Don't do it before you're ready for your show to be listened to. Because also once it's on Apple, your show will then be reviewed and pulled by there's other podcast players out there that scrape your show from Apple and put it on their shows, on their players to listen to as well. So once it's there, just know that it's going to be live. Now, what an RSS feed looks like, I'll go to Libsyn real fast so you could see that. So if you log into Libsyn and you go to settings, you see this gear in the bottom left. What you want to go to is this RSS feed settings. You click on that. And what you're going to see is Libsyn Classic Feed. So that area, if you click edit, if you can look at it, it's going to have a URL that looks like this. It's going to have a website, https://, and it'll have your podcast name, Libsyn.com, and then some information. That's what you're going to want to copy into your podcast submissions. So check that out. Hopefully it's helpful. And get your podcast out there when you're ready to go live. Hope you guys appreciated that, and I will catch you next time.